Good morning. This is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Happy Friday. Today is Friday the 13th, Friday, June 13th. Woo. I have young kids, so I still like to scare them with this kind of stuff. And you get, woo, jump out of a closet kind of thing. Anyway, today I want to talk about the trade deal that with truce, the trade truce with China, which, by the way, isn't really a truce. China has a gun in our head, and they've given us 6 months to relinquish or reduce the semiconductor restrictions that we've had on them. Basically, China not only took our gun, they're holding it right at our head, and we've got 6 months. I don't know if you guys have read that in the news, but that is the most shocking thing I have seen. I have never seen us give up leverage like that so quickly. It's really unbelievable. I don't know if the president understands or understood that China has something we need. Rare earths are something we need. We have something they want. They want access to our markets and they want advanced semiconductors. But we need what they have. They don't need what we have. That's just the bottom line. So it's whoever has the thing the other side needs has leverage. So we went into this trade war, apparently, guns ablaze, and China has literally taken the guns out of our hands and pointed them right back at us. And they've given us 6 months to actually lift some of these restrictions. It's actually unbelievable. I felt like I was watching the Babylon Bee or Onion or Saturday Night Live. I couldn't believe when I saw that headline. I was just shocked how we gave away all of our leverage. And it raises a bunch of very troubling questions. I've been asking myself, do we actually have a China trade strategy? The president was president for 4 years and out of office for 4 years. So he's been around national security for years. We all know we've been writing issues about rare earths and the vulnerability we have there as a national security issue. We can't make our F-35 fly without these things, and China has them. So it really raises a bunch of issues. Does the president know, a bunch of questions, that China has this kind of leverage over us? Do we have a China strategy? Did we actually go into a trade war misunderstanding which side had the ultimate leverage? Again, they have something we need. We have something they want. They don't need it. They don't need what we have. They want what we have, no doubt, but they don't need it. So now China in London, these were so despicable. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent wasn't even the person really behind these. They're just awful. Lutnick, who just wants to be everywhere on TV, was the ultimate suck-up. He was there announcing this. Nobody wants to touch this. That's how ugly this is, no matter how the president tries to spin it. But here are the questions that this has made me ask myself. Do we have a China strategy? Number one, do we actually have a coherent trade strategy? Do we understand which side has the leverage here? Do we understand how critical rare earths are to our national security? Really, do we understand that? Why are we talking about a strategic reserve of Bitcoin when we need a strategic reserve of rare earths? Why are we talking about Bitcoin? Why isn't this an all hands on deck thing here? What would happen? How much does our military, how many rare earths does our military have stockpiled? Because if we went to war with China, could they literally just wait 6 months until we run out, run down the clock, and then kick our butts? How vulnerable are we here? This demands some answers here. Was the bill that is going through the House and Senate written by people who don't understand the leverage China has over us? Because if they didn't understand the leverage China has over us, would you rewrite it? Would you dedicate a big portion of the bill to building a national stockpile, a real reserve? Because that's pretty scary that we don't seem to understand. Our leaders still don't seem to understand the leverage they have over us. Are the people around the president telling him that? Of course, the president would know this because he's been in and around the White House for 8, 9, 10 years now. So, of course, he knows it. If we know it in Boca, if the world knows it, anybody who focuses on defense knows it. He's got to know it. Or are people yesing him to death? I know corporate America is scared to speak out, which is weird in a free speech democracy. But are his advisors afraid to Tell him when he goes half-cocked into a trade war, whoa, buddy, you don't understand the leverage dynamics here. If they're not telling him the truth, are they not serving him well? And if so, should that person be replaced? I'm not saying any names because I don't know the inside baseball. Stuff is leaking out, obviously. But basically, China has given us 6 months to start releasing semiconductors, advanced chips. They've given us 6 months. Do you believe that? We've been telling everybody, you got 3 months to do this, 6 months to do that. And China just told us what we have to do. We got to dance to their tune. We've got 6 months to start getting right with chips with them, or they are going to cut us off from rare earth. Also, another question, what happens in 6 months? Do they cut us off in 6 months? Holy mackerel, I am stunned. Now, if we did not build a stockpile in the past 6 months, 3 months since the election, if we have not built a stockpile, and China knows this, are they going to slow walk the rare earths that they're licensing out so that they know we're on a critical level, a critical amount, and then possibly make a move on Taiwan? I am telling you, this is exactly what I was afraid of happening. This is literally the worst case scenario in this negotiation with China. You are watching it unfold right in real time. It's really astonishing. It's astonishing. Anyway, look, this raises a lot of troubling questions about our national security, about the country we have. Do we think we're stronger than we actually are? And how are we going to catch up on rare earths? Really? Why is anybody talking about anything but rare earths in this country? You cannot have an enemy, an adversary, having this kind of leverage on you. You can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Because they will make you dance in ways that are not good for your own national security. For example, China could say, you got 6 months to start giving us those best NVIDIA chips. What are we going to say? No, the president will try to bob and weave and dance and say all these clever things, blah, blah, blah. But then they'll copy those chips and basically kick us out. Anyway, this has raised a lot of disturbing questions that any citizen, any thinking person must be asking him or herself this week as this deal was done. Anyway, that's all I have for this Friday. I'll see you Monday. Have a good weekend.